key component I want to hit on the business side when it comes to either launching your business, rebranding your business, refocusing your business, determining your target audience. There's a recipe that I want to deal with. When you talk about being successful, there are a lot of ingredients that go into being successful. A lot of people go in business for purpose, a lot of people go in business for passion, and a lot of people go in business for profit. Whatever your reason, you can mix them, you can individualize them. Whatever your reason for going into business, that's cool. But there's one thing that's very important if you're talking about mixing things together and being successful at the very reason you go into business, you gotta have the correct ingredients. Of course, you gotta be ambitious. Of course, you gotta be passionate. Of course, you gotta be focused. Of course, you gotta be committed. Of course, you gotta have laser focus. Of course, you gotta be resilient. These are all ingredients you'll hear business speakers, business educators speak on all the time. But there's one thing that I never really hear a lot of people talk about, and that's being empathetic. Empathetic. Now, empathetic is different from being sympathetic. I had to kind of study it and check it out myself. You know, when you deal with sympathy, you're dealing with your relation to a person's pain or experience because you yourself have experienced it. That's sympathy. But empathy is relating to a person's pain, not because you experienced it, because you imagine what they're going through. Now, I'm gonna go somewhere in a minute. But I hear this all the time. When it comes to business and being successful and reaching the profitable stage of your business, because we do understand that our business develops in stages. That's why we talk about growth. You know, so we have the building stage, we have the exposure stage, but we all want to get to the profitable stage of our business. Because even if you're in it for passion, even if you're in it for purpose, you still need money to function. You understand what I'm saying? So listen now, when you go to talking about getting into the profitable stage of your business, you have to create value. A lot of people put a lot of emphasis on time. You hear people say, man, I work 18 hours a day on my business. Man, I work 22 hours a day on my business. Oh, time is money. Oh, time is this. Now, time is important because it takes time to build your business, to establish your business. But as you begin to transition and shift and move into a profitable stage in your business, it's not about time, it's about value. See, when I go places and speak, we go places with books, people don't pay us for our time. They pay us for our value. So although you may be spending 18 hours a day to establish your business, 18 hours a day may not make your business profitable. Because a lot of people have great ideas about business, but they never take the time to realize if their product or their service is needed. Why would you start a business cutting grass in a city that no one has grass? It's not needed. So you have to develop value with whatever your product, with whatever your service is. And once you develop value, you now put yourself in a position to enter into the stage of profitability. A lot of times we talk about target audience, okay? Target audience. People say, well, you know what you want to do. You have to now determine what is your target audience. Well, how do you determine your target audience? First of all, you have to be in tune with your gifting. What are you good at? It comes easy for you to do. That may be difficult for other people. You determine your gift that way. And then once you determine your gift, now the work is determining how can you offer your gift and what sector of people would need your gift. And that's where the empathy comes in. Because remember, empathy is not having experienced the pain, but you can relate by imagining what they're going through. And when you can relate what people are going through imagining, through thinking, through pondering, then you can create a product or you can create a service that will be of need. And if your product and your service is of need, it becomes of value and it becomes profitable. All right, let me give you an example of that. Stephanie and I, we have what we call author's ambition, okay? Author's ambition, this is why we did this, because we sat back and we saw a need. We saw a problem. We saw young authors who would be tied to life-wrecking contracts with publishers that would be misled and misguided by publishers, thinking just because they wrote a book, their publisher is going to push them to get their book out there, is going to push their book to sell. And we notice these situations with authors where a lot of authors want to do book signings, but they don't know how to do book signings. So when me and Stephanie decided to do, we created a company, Author's Ambition, and we said, we'll go on the road for a year and we'll do a book signing out of state and a book signing in state every month. And what we'll do, we'll blaze a trail and we'll create a paper trail of places that after we go for a year, we could take young authors, new authors, reinventing authors, and we could take them back on the same trail of doing book signings, one out of the country, one out of the state and one in the state. Because with this book signing, we teach the young authors how to get your material established in different states. Because once you pay your publisher to publish your book, they done. All you can do is get some copies of your book printed. Now the work is on you. And a lot of people who write books didn't know that. So when a lot of people write books, now they become frustrated. And that's a problem. And we saw that. We thought about that. We didn't experience it. It wasn't sympathy. It was empathy. We sat back and we realized what people were going through, and we created a solution for it. Do you solve a problem? Is there a need for what you offer? Because if you're just doing what everybody else is doing, there may not be any value. Charles Price says, when you develop value with your gift, you find your profit.